Among the things that we think are part of the cause for hoarding behavior have to do with the way in which people process information. And we think that people who hoard process information in several unusual ways. One of them has to do with the nature of things they pay attention to. People who hoard pay attention to the unusual detail in objects, like the shape, the color, the texture, and so forth. And they don't necessarily have the same view of these things in terms of what is the most important feature. For instance, of a bottle cap. You can focus on the shape and the color and the texture and maybe give it value because of that. Or you can focus on the fact that if it's a bottle cap without any bottle associated with it, maybe it has no useful function. One of the things that is related to why this develops, we think, is the way in which information is processed by people who have hoarding problems. Attentional problems are one feature of this, where there's a tendency to focus on the unusual detail of an object, and that gives that unusual detail more value. Another characteristic has to do with the way in which we think about objects. And the way in which we organize our lives. Most of us organize our lives categorically. So if we get an electricity bill in the mail, we put it in a category called bills, or a category called electricity bills or something. So when we need to find it, we can go to that category and locate it and do whatever we need to do with it. But people who hoard seem, for the most part, to live their lives a little bit differently. Instead of categorically organizing the things in their lives, they tend to organize them visually and spatially. So if you ask someone with a hoarding problem where their last electricity bill is, they're likely to tell you that it's somewhere in the middle of the pile in this room, and maybe a foot down in the pile, because that's the last place I saw it. So the organization is by remembering in space where objects are based on when I saw them last. Now, a lot of us organize some things this way. The top of my desk is organized that way. I've got piles of things and I remember what's there because I last saw it there. But if I were to do that for all the possessions I owned, that system would break down quickly, and pretty soon I would have a non-functional way of organizing all the things in my life. So this problem with categorization is one of the ways in which the processing of information is a little bit different in people who hoard.